When you get a new follower on Instagram, do you stalk yourself? I know I do. I go through the first 6 posts on my page and wonder how the other person might perceive me. I hope that what they see is an authentic version of me. In the age of meticulously curated online personas, the pursuit of authenticity has evolved into a complex interaction between self-presentation and societal perception. As individuals craft their online identities, they simultaneously shape how they are perceived by the real world. Before social media, the quest for authenticity retained the same unattainability as individuals grappled with the complexities of self-representation and creating the most authentic version of themselves. Amidst this delicate balancing act of self-expression and societal expectations, in any age, the essence of authenticity appears increasingly elusive, slipping through our fingers like grains of sand.
When you search what is authenticity on Google, the Oxford Dictionary definition states the quality of being authentic. The philosophical definition also comes up and says authenticity is a concept of personality in the fields of psychology, existential psychotherapy, existential philosophy, and aesthetics. In existentialism, authenticity is the degree to which a person's actions are congruent with their values and desires, despite external pressures to social conformity.
But what about when you apply this to someone's authentic identity performance? In application, I am unsatisfied with Google's definition, and more importantly, the broader societal definition of authenticity. There is no such thing as authenticity as long as there are external pressures to social conformity, and there always will be because of the structures that we have in place. Identity performance is the ways that an individual performs their outward identity and how society interacts with it. Judith Butler describes the concept of gender as a performative accomplishment and discusses how gender identity is constructed through repetitive acts. They say that individuals become gendered through a historical and cultural process, and argue that this performance is heavily influenced by social norms and cultural expectations rather than innate essence.
They say, I will understand constituting acts not only as constituting the identity of the actor, but as constituting that identity as a compelling illusion, an object of belief.
While they are talking more specifically about gender, these ideas can be applied to all identity structures. The idea of authenticity becomes problematic because it implies a fixed and stable identity that exists independently of social influences. However, if identity is understood as performative and constantly negotiated within societal contexts, the entire concept of an authentic performance of one's identity crumbles. A concept that encompasses this notion is interpolation. Interpolation is a term coined by philosopher Louis Althusser. He describes it as the mechanism through which pre-existing social structures constitute individual human organisms as subjects.
He delves deeper into the analysis of this concept in the article Ideology and Ideological State Apparatuses.
He describes that all ideologies address specific individuals as distinct subjects. Hence, individuals are inherently regarded as subjects from the start. Even before birth, a child is already a subject, designated as such within the particular ideological framework of the family into which they are conceived. This familial ideology is intricately organized. Within this rigid structure, the future subject is expected to establish their role, essentially becoming the subject they are already presumed to be. So, if an individual is always already named as a specific identity, even before they exist, it cannot be possible for them to form an unbiased opinion of themselves, as every part of their existence is informed by how society has categorized them. Many struggle with this idea because they feel that they have an internal essence that has been untouched by the confinement of expectation. This idea of an internal essence is one that we have created as a tool to understand ourselves, but in reality, it proves to be a superficial notion. It's comforting to think of yourself as an individual, and one with your own thoughts, ideas, and feelings. When we think of ourselves as individuals, it creates a sense of significance in a world where one can feel so deeply insignificant. Because of this, we become obsessed with the idea of authenticity, to the extent that our sense of self becomes intricately entwined with the performance of our identity. This phenomenon mirrors the complex relationship between the soul and the body. Just as the soul is believed to animate the body, giving it life and purpose, our perceived authenticity serves as the animating force behind our outward identity, giving it meaning and significance. In this way, our identity becomes more than just a reflection of who we are. It becomes a vital aspect of our existence, shaping how we navigate the world and interact with others. Even so, as much as it feels that we are being authentic, we simply aren't. In the videos that follow, I will be dissecting 2 YouTube videos that show peculiar instances of performances of one's identity, where an individual strive to embody the most genuine or authentic version of themselves within their respective categories or identities. It's intriguing to analyze these instances while considering the impossibility of achieving authenticity, as they showcase the inherent commitment in Western society to the idea of authenticity, and the negative side effects of those expectations. Since our societal perceptions heavily rely on preconceived expectations, variations of them turn into spectacles. Even when our expectations are met, doubts arise regarding the authenticity of the performance. Ultimately, these videos shed light on the elusive nature of authenticity and the limited control we have of our own performance.